Hello everyone, welcome back to my Let's Replay channel. Once again, this is Andrew T coming at you. And today we're going to be reviewing The Last Federation and Betrayal at Antara. As always, we'll start with the first one I played, so starting with Betrayal and Antara. This was the sequel to Betrayal at Krondor, which was a nostalgic favorite of mine, even though it was very, very hard. This was supposed to be the spiritual sequel to it, and I can kind of see why when I got it when I was younger, I didn't pick it up and play it that often. Mostly because for the fact that it kind of had the same tropes at the beginning. You get a third-party member right away. The voice acting was okay, I guess, and the lines were decent. I give it for the beginning, especially, but what I had to do just in the small time that we had today, I want to make this short video. One, because of the size of my memory, because of the Dragon Age Origins I have on there, and two, I didn't really want to play it for that long, even though because one of the age has not aged well. The graphics are pretty dated at this time, and two, the UI, the user interface, and the gameplay mechanics are so very dated. Other than that, though, it's pretty much almost a carbon copy of Betrayal at Krondor, just because of the inventory system, how you get around, the random battles or not random, but the battles that you get into. Even though I had it on super easy, some of the battles I was missing a lot. I was missing a lot of hits where I thought for sure I would hit, and then the battle will be done. That's what it's supposed to be whenever the difficulty goes down. But this was not the case. The very first enemy I found was a giant lizard. Thing took me down a lot. It hit me for a lot of hits, and took me a lot of hits to kill it. And then the second battle I had with the three bandits, that was pretty much what I thought it was going to be. But if it was on normal, I'd probably get decimated, just because of the random dice rolls that go into hitting or missing with it. So, and skipping the entire beginning cutscenes, you could pretty much kind of guess the story, but I remember that the story wasn't really that good overall when I played it the first time. So, because it's a shorter Let's Play on this one, I don't have a ton of information to say on it, other than the first village I went to, just by pure luck. I was just like, okay, let's go this way. And it was apparently a home village of one of the characters, and I didn't know what to do in it. I just went from house to house, and then every time you did, there was about almost 6 novel worth pages worth of reading before you even got to get out the dialogue, or you got to make a decision one time in like 10 buildings I went to, that I actually got to make a decision on, oh, do I want to do this or do that? And that was basically to make some money, I think, wrangling pigs. Either way, it was not that enjoyable. Back then it would be, because you had no choice. It was pretty decent at the time, but I liked the Betrayal at Krondor a little bit better, because it had, like I said, the photorealistic instead of just the kind of shinier graphics that this one did. Mostly because it looks like they just took those photos and then just put graphics over the overlay on everything and then just made this game. So yeah, if I had to give it a rating for nostalgia and for price, I think I got it on sale for GOG.com for less than $5. So for that, I have to give this one a 4 out of 10, just for the fact that nostalgia-wise, even if you played it and you're as old as I am, in your early to mid-30s, then if you really loved it, then you might want to pick it up for the right price. But for the UI, everything else that goes into it, the graphics, the dialogue, the storyline, everything else that was there for right now, I'd have to give it a 4, just because it's not really worth your money if you want to pick it up, because of the age of it and how badly it has aged to this point. But it's not something I could give just middle of the road, because it had no desire to even play longer after I stopped the video. And that has to be one of the things to at least give it at least a 6 or above, is to desire to play it after I'm done with the video, at least for a little while. But this one was just like, nah, I kind of know what to expect. And, just like I said, these are all just my personal opinions and, ratings and all that. I don't have a specific system. I try to keep it a little bit on the side of consistency every week, but depending if I played or not in my childhood or anything like that, or how to compare it to today's games and the price, it all just depends. So it's all willy-nilly. So going from there, let's go to Last Federation. I picked this up again, one of Total Biscuit's recommendations when he was talking about it on his podcast years ago, and I thought, you know what, I saw it for a decent price. It was on sale. Again, nice, game was on sale, and the way he talked it up, I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. The problem was that the way he described it made it sound like this awesome, just world and battle and all this other stuff that went along with it. And to his credit, it was everything he said it was. The problem was the UI along with it. I played this game. I probably play it once every 6 months trying to get back into it, and it's enjoyable for the combat. But the problem is that you are basically going up against everything on the screen by yourself. So no matter what your objectives are, unless you have something else going on in the background, like the whole other world aspect of it, that's pretty much 90% of the game. The other 10% is the combat. So unless you really kind of know what you're doing, what to do, where to go, which alliances you want to make, stuff like that, what you want to do to make money, all these other things that are just kind of the bread and butter of the game, I didn't really have that much interest in. Mostly because of the time it took to do all those things, and the other part was that a lot of it was kind of confusing. And even though they have a decent tutorial, I went through the tutorial 3 or 4 times since I got the thing starting over, and it's still couldn't understand that aspect of it. And they're like, "Oh no, we're done. Okay, I swear we're done, and this is all you should need to know." I'm like, "No, I don't know anything." You should, for the tutorial, you should go through every option you have throughout the non-combat and make you go through it to make sure you know what to do and where to go, things like that. Bribes, other options, things along those nature. But it was just like, okay, you have these options, go to it. I'm like, when do I have those options? Because you think you have them in the beginning of the game, but you don't even have a lot of these options until the other species gain spaceflight. So I was like, okay, well, I did one combat mission, went to the planet I did spaceflight with, and then I'm like, all right, I'll just do this project until it's done. I'm like, I don't know when it's done. I keep on trying to go out. I'm like, I don't see where it's done. I thought the bar at the top that was going across the screen was an indication of when the project would be done, but I kept on going and going and going, and all these other things were happening. And I finally just had to say, okay, let's stop and just figure out, let's just do something else. So if I had to give this one a score, I'd have to give it a 5 out of 10. And I know when judging it by the last one where I gave a 4 out of 10 to Betrayal and Antara, and that's an older game, this one's a newer game, just for the fact that it's hard to get into. It's enjoyable in some aspects, but not so enjoyable in pretty much the bulk of all the other things, in my opinion. So I think if you kind of knew what to do beforehand, if you looked up a YouTube tutorial or a walkthrough guide, things like that, you could probably get into it a little bit better. And then if that was the case, if I really cared enough about the game to do that, I'd probably give it a 6. But just for the fact that, I shouldn't have to do that for a game that they're trying to just give you, and the tutorials are supposed to show you everything you need to do. So for that aspect of it, I'm like, yeah, I just can't in good conscience give it anything than just a middle-of-the-road 5. For the price, you may want to pick it up if it's ever on sale for around $5 or less. The graphics are decent, the UI is good, the combat mechanics are very fun, but everything else is just too complicated for me to kind of go through, and the tutorial they gave you is not up to par. So, not bad, not good, but it just depends on whether you like the style of gameplay and if you want to continue with it. So those are my reviews this week. Thank y'all so much for watching. Once again, this is Andrew T coming at you, and y'all have a good one.